The 2017 Sandy Hook 5K was the most difficult race that I've ever run. It shouldn't have been. It's only 3.2 miles, and I'd run that distance dozens of times. The race is a fundraiser for families impacted by the December 14th, 2012 tragedy at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. On that day, at that school, 20 children ages 6 and 7 and 6 adult victims lost their lives to a lone gunman. I didn't know any of the victims. I didn't know any of their families or even anyone who lived in that area. Like millions of people, I read and I watched as events unfolded and the stories of the victims and the heroes came out. Like millions, I ached for the families, the community, and for a world in which such horror can occur. And like some number of people, it caused me to spiral down into major depression and to develop panic disorder. I don't understand why the shootings at the school led me into major depression. There had already been far too many occasions on which children and adults were the victims of school shootings or mass tragedies, and none of those had affected me the way that Sandy Hook did. I felt alone, as if I were in a box with the rest of the world outside and unreachable. I felt unbearably sad and hopeless. When in a car, subway, train, plane, or even on a bicycle, I would envision everything around me as a means to end my life and feel powerful urges to do so. I lost interest in food, and the world plunged into white and gray and black. I began taking antidepressants, seeing a therapist, biking and running, and I still do all of those. I also learned of the Sandy Hook 5K and set a goal of running it in Newtown, Connecticut, but I wasn't mentally ready to run it that year. Even thinking about it would cause a panic attack. By 2015, I still wasn't healthy enough to go to Newtown. I felt emotionally raw. School shootings and mass tragedies frequently triggered depressive periods and panic attacks. But I was able to symbolically run the 5K here in Arlington, the same date as the race in Newtown. I started and ended my run at the elementary school my children had attended. It seemed appropriate. I cried before, during, and after the run, but I finished. Again, the following year, I couldn't bring myself to go. But I was able to take another step forward. A friend who was running the 5K in Newtown quickly agreed when I asked her to wear a pin during the race to symbolize my presence. I tracked her progress in the race on my phone and sobbed the entire time that I did. Last year, 4 years after developing depression, I finally went to Newtown for the 5K. The morning of the race, temperatures were hovering around freezing. Until the race started, there was a cold, steady rain that was threatening to turn into snow. I teared up during a speech before the race. But during the race, I was fine. I was focused and determined. My race time wound up being a personal best for a 5K. I wasn't trying for a good time, I just wanted to finish. But there it was. I choose to never beat that time. So much more than running went into it for me. Antidepressants, therapy, and more tears, panic attacks, nightmares, and suicidal thoughts than I thought were possible. After the race, I had a collage made. It contains a photo of me on the race course, a copy of my bib, and one of the tokens available after the race, a small kindness coin to wear around your neck as a medal. When I saw the completed collage, I cried, but this time for reaching my goal. I'm still sensitive to school shootings and mass tragedies. I sometimes go back into depression, especially, but not only, when more than one tragedy occurs in a brief time period. So this is an interesting world for me to live in. We're just 1 month after another senseless shooting at a school, this time at a high school in Parkland, Florida, where 17 innocent lives were ended. We're less than 1 month after yet another tragedy at a school. A 17-year-old girl in Alabama is now dead. I can't imagine the pain in those communities, and for me, there's no question that those events have been triggering. I wish the killings would stop. I don't understand them. I don't understand how anyone can believe that they'll stop anything or solve anything. I don't understand how people can end the lives of children. I know I'm not alone in these thoughts, and while I don't wish depression on anyone, sometimes I wonder whether there would be fewer killings if my reaction was the norm. But it's not the norm, and I can say with unwanted certainty that people will continue to kill people for misguided reasons and for no reason at all. So I try to prevent the world from pushing me over the edge into depression or a panic attack. I no longer listen to news radio. I will not watch television news. I stop or restrict my use of social media. I cautiously scan headlines before deciding what to read so that I can try to stay informed without spiraling down. I avoid anything that will personalize the victims for me. I don't like doing that. I should know more about these people's lives than I do about their deaths. But I can't, because I can't do that without risking a relapse. Depressive episodes still occur. They can occur for a day or two, a few weeks, or a few months. They can occur for a specific reason or for no reason at all. I know that statistically, they are likely to recur. Yet after each one, I tell myself, that's it. There will be no more depression. When I first told our younger daughter that I had depression, she exclaimed, "But you're the most cheerful person I know." By nature, I'm upbeat and I'm optimistic. I've gotten through depression before, and I'll get through it again, because I can run that race, and I can achieve that goal, and I can continue to hope that the killings will stop. Thank you.